Talking of mums, also on the show this morning, you can forget Kylie, we've got the original Australian Queen of Pop with us. And Mum, that's Olivia Newton-John throughout the morning this morning. Two performances,
She hasn't changed a bit.
No, hasn't. I mean, she's, well, shall I say? No, I better not say how old she is because she might not come in.
Do. Tell me.
51.
69? Flippin' heck. It's amazing.
Now then, you may not know that Olivia Newton-John was actually born in England, because a lot of people think she was born in Australia, but she recorded her first single here nearly 40 years ago. Now she has 32 albums, 53 singles to her credit, and she is back in this country and on our sofa. Lovely to see you.
Yeah, good morning.
You still look like a little girl to me. It's amazing. You haven't aged at all.
Oh, you're very nice.
Still that. I think it's that beautiful big smile. I think that keeps everything stretched.
Yes, it does. Keeps holding up.
That gorgeous, big, generous mouth. You do. You still look well. Are you still enjoying work? Because you're so driven. I mean, you could have given up and had an easy life and had a lovely time on the beach in Australia.
No, what am I doing? No, I say that every year, but every year something inspires me to do something else, and I really enjoy it. I must.
Yeah, well, I think you must do. And now, listen,
Yeah.
people are going to be enjoying your new album soon, because you do have a new album out, which is why you're here. It's called Indigo, Women of Song. Composed of covers. Are these some of your favourite songs, yeah?
Yeah, this is like a tribute album to these women that inspired me when I was starting out. For instance, Joan Baez. When I was like 15, I used to sing folk songs, and I could sing hers because they were really easy songs and pretty songs as well. And then I won a talent contest with Anyone Who Had a Heart, which Cilla Black, and I loved her. And Dion Warwick also recorded it as a Burt Bacharach song, and so I won a talent contest, and that brought me to England, so that was an important song.
Oh, that was back in 1965.
Yes, around then. And then my dad, the first album that I was ever bought was the Nina Simone album, and the song Summertime was on there. And the very, very first little television show I did, I sang Summertime with my boyfriend who was playing guitar on this audition show where they had like 3 gongs and a hook and you're off. And so they're all songs like that. Doris Day song, I've got a tribute to Karen Carpenter.
Loving
Minnie
You.
Ripperton.
Is that because she's...
Oh, she was amazing.
I
didn't do that bit.
Oh, you didn't? I was wondering if you did that bit.
No, Minnie was the first woman I'd ever met who died of breast cancer, and I really respected her as a woman and as a writer, and I always loved that song, so that was a tribute to her as well.
Yeah, and obviously you've brought the subject up about breast cancer, which you found out you had back in 1992, I think it was, wasn't it? Whether it would be etched on your mind anyway. What was that like that moment when you found out?
It was a very interesting time, a very difficult time. My father was diagnosed with cancer the same week, and the day that I found out, it was like a week before, and I went out to see him, and then when I got back I found out that I had it, and then he passed away on that weekend. So it was everything happening at once. Obviously a very confronting time, but I made it through, thank goodness, and I'm very fortunate.
Yeah, and as I say, you look fitter than ever. Listen, we're going to talk to you more later on. I know you're going to be singing for us this morning as well, twice, which we're very pleased about, but for now, lovely to see you. Thanks very much.
All right.
And more from Olivia throughout the programme, singing in just about 5 minutes' time. If you go to our website, gm.tv, you'll be able to find out more about how to get your hands on those self-examination kits and signed copies of Olivia's new album. Have you had a relationship that's just broken up, or you've been betrayed in a relationship and somebody wants to get back with you? Here now is one of the all-time great bitter love songs, I think.
Yeah, sung by Olivia Newton-John.
Yes. Cry Me a River. Here we go.
You're lonely, you cry the whole night through. Well, you can cry me a river, cry me a river. I cried a river over you. Now sorry for being so untrue. Well, you can cry me a river, cry me a river. I cried a river over you. You drove me, you nearly drove me out of my head, while you never shed a tear. Remember, I remember all you said. Told me love was too plebeian, told me you were through with me, and now you say you love me. Well, just to prove you do, come on and cry me a river, cry me a river. I cried a river over you. Ooh, yeah. You drove me, you nearly drove me out of my head, while you never shed a tear. Oh, I remember all you said. Told me love was too plebeian, told me you were through with me, and say you're sorry for being so untrue. Well, you can cry me a river, cry me a river. I cried a river over you. I cried a river over you. I cried a river over you. Ooh, cry me a river.
And Olivia is going to take a trip back down memory lane
Thank
to
you,
the
Olivia.
Grease days.
The Grease days.
When she comes
when
back
she worked
for
in a
another chat.
cafe. Anyway.
Summertime.
Indigo, Women of Song, is the new album by Olivia Newton-John.
Is easy. Anyone who had a heart would take me.
An album of songs originally performed by the greatest female singers.
Cry me a river, cry me a river.
Indigo, Women of Song, the new album by Olivia Newton-John, out now.
Right, still to come, someone that, oh, well, he is a fan. We know he's a fan, Olivia Newton-John.
The neutron bomb herself, yeah.
Well, you'll probably be doing your web chat when she comes in, but never mind.
She'll be here after the break.
Olivia Newton-John still hanging around. Most people have been bored and switched off ages ago, but here she is, still here. It's so nice for you to join us this morning. And of course, naturally, it takes me back, and you know what I'm going to say, don't you?
Yes.
Yes, to Greece.
You're a child. You were just a little girl.
No, I wasn't a child. Funnily enough, when I went to see it in 1978, I was 16, and it was a bit of a scandal because I was seeing a 28-year-old man. I didn't like him very much, and I actually was more interested in the film than him, but really takes me back. And do you get annoyed that people still refer to those days, or
of course
you're proud
not.
of it?
Oh, absolutely proud of it. Oh, of course not. No, it was a wonderful time in my life, and it was a wonderful time for many people.
Yeah.
Those years, and everyone's reflection on, you know, the older ones who remember that time period, and those that think they do because they saw the movie in the 70s and feel they were there in the 50s.
And now it's a classic.
I know, it's amazing, really.
And at the time, you weren't so sure about taking the part, were you?
No, I was very reluctant, actually, in the beginning, because I'd made a film and it was a disaster, and was worried about doing another one because my musical career was doing well. But thank goodness, I asked if we could do a screen test with myself and John, and they said yes, and we did the screen test. I said, well, if I like it, I'll do the movie. Strange way of doing things, but I was lucky that I thought that it worked, and I looked at myself.
And they liked it?
Yeah, because I was worried about, you know, being looking right for the part, and it was so
I just remember that. Everyone wanted to be you then. I mean, you were stick thin in that black outfit with the leggings and the boob tube thing. Just amazing. What do you think when you see that? I mean, that's the classic clip, isn't it?
This stuff is all back, and I just bought these earrings the other day, and I just realised that they're actually very similar to the ones that I had.
Wore then.
Because all 70s stuff is back.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's wild, isn't it?
Well, that was a great decade for you, wasn't it? You started off sort of doing Cliff's shows, Cliff in the Shadows. You cracked America big time as well, and there was Greece. What a decade that was for you.
Yeah, it was a great decade.
And then the 80s, I remember Physical, actually.
Yeah, the 80s was fantastic. First of all, I had Physical, and most importantly, I had my daughter.
Chloe.
In '86, so it was that was the best decade. Yeah.
And is Chloe, I believe, writing as well now?
She's writing and singing. She has an album coming out in around June.
Oh,
yeah.
What did you think of her leanings toward the music business?
Well, you know, it's not surprising. I mean, she's been brought up in a household, show business household, and that's all she's really known. I was obviously hoping she would go to university or do something like my mother hoped that I would, and I didn't do it either, so it's not a big surprise. But, you know, I just want her to follow her passion. I think that's all you can hope for with your children, that they follow their passion, no matter what that is.
And that they're happy.
And that they're happy, yeah, exactly.
Well, is there anything about the industry, though, that you, having known it so well, would warn her of or have warned her of?
Well, you know, I think I was always lucky that I was surrounded by good people, and so I think she has good people around her, and I'll keep an eye on that, interfering as much as I can.
It's harder now, though, isn't it? I think it's a lot harder for youngsters.
It's a tough business now. You know, when I started out, they were building careers, and your first album wasn't expected to be the one now.
No.
You know, these poor young kids, they have one album. If it doesn't make it, they kind of lose their contract. It's very tough.
And that can cause all sorts of problems, because, you know, you're suddenly catapulted into the limelight, all the interviews, you're in the papers, and then suddenly you're branded a failure after one outing.
It's very unfair, I think, really. I find it's very difficult for them. Luckily, Chloe's been with it, seen it her whole life, and she's done movies when she was 9, and she's done, you know, she's done little bits and been around it her whole life, so it won't be a big jump for her. It'll be an adjustment, and I think she'll do very well. She's a very talented girl.
Oh, she must take after her mum. Thank you. It's been really lovely to see you. I wish you could stay longer, but we have to leave.
Thank you. All right. Well, it's been nice. Next time, eh?
Yeah.
All right.
Lovely to see you. Thanks very much.
Oh, but hot news, I can tell you there will be more from Olivia and LK today. So if you go to our website, gm.tv, you'll also be able to find out more how you can get your hands on self-examination kits after Olivia's cancer scare, breast cancer scare. She endorses those. And we've got signed copies of her new album.
My new best friend.
Now, one woman who never seems to age, Olivia Newton-John, of course. You saw her earlier on talking to Eamon and Fiona. She's here performing a classic for her much-loved movie Grease, hopelessly devoted to you.
Guess mine is not the first heartbroken. My eyes are not the first to cry. I'm not the first to know. There's just no getting over you. You know, who's willing to sit around and wait for you. But baby, can't you see there's nothing else for me to do? I'm hopelessly devoted to you. But now there's nowhere to hide since you pushed my love aside. I'm out of my head, hopelessly devoted to you. Hopelessly devoted to you. Hopelessly devoted to you. My head is saying, fool, forget it. My heart is saying, don't let go. Hold on to the end. That's what I intend to do. I'm hopelessly devoted to you. But now there's nowhere to hide since you pushed my love aside. I'm out of my head, hopelessly devoted to you. Hopelessly devoted to you. Hopelessly devoted to
Thank you, Olivia. Fantastic stuff from the album Indigo that's out right now, looking like a teenager.